The Steph Curry underrated documentary was great, but they missed the most important details that only myself and this lady currently know about. Now we need to understand, 2019 stung. 2020 was, yikes, league's worst record. 21, can you do something for me? Never mind. Despite that, Steph Curry said the most impactful thing I've ever heard him say.
Just didn't go our way. Tried to make the most of it, come back, bottle this up, everybody make the right strides, take advantage of the summer, and you don't want to see us next year.
Now, regardless of what everyone said, and getting throat punched for 3 straight years, 2022 was different. First off, this guy came back.
He went to reach, and Clay down the lane. I think he's healthy.
Then we get an 18-2 start. We even had an all-star MVP, and some guy on the Warriors even broke a historic NBA record. But that is nothing in comparison to what happened after, and there are key details which led to the Warriors achieving something that nobody thought they could, and it all started in round 1 against the Denver Nuggets. Now, Steve Kerr gives us an absolute coaching masterclass, especially as he used this thing called the lineup of death, which was one of the most feared lineups in 2022, which had Draymond Green, Steph, Clay, Wiggins, and maybe a big surprise, pre-punched Jordan Poole.
But I want to deliver one of these right in your suck hole.
Is there anything I can do to work on that?
Now, this lineup was built with perfect spacing, as you can see here, as they run their famous split action. Look here as Clay sets a screen for Steph. The gravitational pull of Curry causes the defenders to overplay him up top. You might be wondering why Joker is up so high guarding Draymond Green, but I noticed Draymond actually puts his hand up to set a screen, and Joker is then ready to guard Poole coming off of that screen. The next play is crazy, and I want you to pay close attention to a couple of things. First, look how high Jokic has to play Steph on the screen, taking away the shot. Now Steph splits that double, and look at how each Denver Nugget just decides not to help at all. Will Barton here, you should be aggressively stepping up into the lane. The lineup of death is targeting the Joker. He steps up once again and does a pretty good job defending here, but Steph gets him moving left to set up that nasty spin move. No help inside because of that elite shooting everywhere else. And even gooder, look at the spacing. Draymond has options to run this play left or right. As a YouTuber coach who makes less money than my kid's babysitter, I think you should trust me here and believe me when I say that forcing closeouts as often as possible is the key to winning basketball games, which happens here, and it's the shooters on the outside which gives Poole the wide open lane as the help is officially late. Even more options, he could have hit a wide open Klay Thompson here. Now here is something legendary that the Warriors do. Steph Curry once again attacks Joker in the pick and roll, but this time he is doubled. This leaves Draymond Green wide open, and the Warriors are so good at giving the ball up just so they can get it right back, like right here. Ooh, that's still a really tough shot. Now the lineup of death had counters for everything. You might be wondering why Jokic wouldn't just camp in the paint and leave Draymond Green wide open. Well, this is what happened, as the Warriors would get whatever look they wanted to from 3. Now this small ball lineup was crazy because it could get stops and then just run. Now look at the patience here by Draymond Green. He doesn't force anything on the 3-on-3 situation. Look at how he jump stops and fakes that dribble handoff to Clay. Nobody sees JP coming down the wing, so Gordon now has to help. And look who is now coming back down the lane. Now this lineup had some clear challenges on the defensive end, but check Draymond Green getting low and aggressive in the paint. But not only that, Klay Thompson is also putting in work in order to make sure that the lineup can stay on the floor. This small ball lineup could play really good pressure defense on the perimeter, but this play is pure comedy. I'm actually super thankful I noticed how lazy the Nuggets were on this one after the turnover. Denver is literally walking back, not even looking at the ball. Now Jokic is forced into a matchup on Klay Thompson. Even more hilarious, who the heck is Jeff Green guarding here? A great tip in basketball is to try sometimes. And this play sums up exactly why Denver decided to improve their spacing, which obviously led to them winning this year. But check out how last year they had Jeff Green, Jokic, and Aaron Gordon on the floor at the same time. The Warriors were able to just camp inside of the paint, but the task got even harder against the team who previously knocked them out, the Memphis Clowns. The first thing I discovered was a play only the Warriors would run, the do-si-do. It's a play ran out of the base set called floppy, where the ball starts at the top and then the shooter is underneath the hoop. There's also screens set on either side. Now Curry and Poole hilariously link arms to gravitationally get a speed burst jump start. I love that. One of the genius strategies the Warriors used defensively was to go underneath screens set by Ja Morant. He can't really shoot that well. Disrespectful, but you can see both players just hang here underneath the three-point line. Not only that, but they applied that similar concept with regards to help by completely leaving Kyle Anderson, the guy on the baseline, tossing up bricks all series long. And no, I did not slow that three-point shot down. That's his shot, right, Kyle? Another example here of sagging off, giving Ja that three-point three-point shot. And Steve Kerr's game plan here working to perfection. The Warriors completely ignore that flare screen set for Ja on the perimeter. Dillon Brooks has a clear drive, so watch how Golden State helps off of Jackson initially, but then rotates off of Ja. Klay hardly even tries to go over to contest the shot. Now, this is one of the most iconic plays of the year, but it wouldn't have happened without these details. This was initiated by a pick and roll and a beautiful seal by Draymond Green. Now, Bane over here can't clamp down as he is on Klay, and he has no other teammate close enough to rotate over, so the pass is angled over in that direction. Draymond immediately knows where that help is going to come from, so he swings it, which forces more defensive help. Another quick pass giving a closeout to attack, another drive and kick, another closeout. Ooh, this is beautiful. Wiggins takes care of the rest, and this lady really appreciates that great basketball. Warriors win this series in 6 games and did some incredible things in the semifinals against the Mavs, who did everything they could to stop Steph Curry. You can see here how they immediately double him on the drive. Remember the rule, give it up and get it back. Steph doesn't force anything. He gets a screen, which is then slipped, and Kevon Looney is wide open. What I found interesting is the reason why there was no help inside, and that's because there was also a screen on the opposite side, which completely distracted the defense. That's good, and if you guys are having a good time, make some silence for me. And Dallas had elite chemistry, as you can see Jalen Brunson penetrating and collapsing that defense. Golden State somehow anticipates this pass to the baseline, but Brunson makes an insane adjustment to get it to the wing. Oh, now the Warriors defense is completely in scramble mode, giving Dinwiddie that wide open three. Now the Mavs did something genius against the Warriors, which other teams would copy. They put Jalen Brunson on Green because of the amount of screens that Draymond sets. So now instead of having a slow big switch onto Steph, the quicker Brunson can now take over. Here again, we get Brunson on Draymond, but this is countered by the Warriors to perfection off of this screen as Steph hits Draymond in his favorite spot, the short roll. The Warriors now have a 3-on-2, and Green can make these reads in his sleep. Jason Kidd comes up with another fantastic defensive adjustment in the series called a show and go. This is a counter to when Luka gets switched onto Curry, mismatch. So what I noticed is they would show a double team, and then Luka would just go run away from the ball, and the rest of the Mavs would rotate to new defenders. Love it. This was the series where Andrew Wiggins really started to make a name for himself by guarding Luka like a monster. But something that nobody is talking about that really helped Andrew Wiggins is the amount of effort they spent tiring Luka out on defense. Watch how the Warriors strategically make Luka work on this possession. They bullied him repeatedly, putting him in pick and roll all series long. Here the bullying gets worse, as you can see Luka getting screened down low. Porter then could shoot this, but instead he swings it over to Wiggins, and then look who is coming over to screen. Luka gets put in another switch, and at this point he's not even in a defensive stance at all. Yikes. All of that results in Dirk being sad. Here is actually my favorite play from the entire series. We get a screen set down low, which leads to a ghost screen or a decoy. The person who originally set the first screen comes up to set a second screen. He then rolls and gets the ball, and there's a slashing cut by Draymond Green, who bricks the layup, but I would copy that play if I'm a coach, that's for sure. Then I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw this play. Yep, they did it again, the do-si-do, but with a variation. Watch as Steph and Klay link arms and spin. Then they run cuts followed by back cuts, which are covered. And then watch Klay as he comes all the way back around into a dribble handoff, which I would argue should have been passed to Kevon Looney, but Steph Curry says that's a great play, and yeah, everybody clap your hands. Yep. Okay, Warriors win the series in 5, but now face the Boston Celtics led by the dangerously aroused Ime Udoka. Game 1 was tough, and Draymond Green had this to say.
They switch, and you can tend to slow down, stop cutting, and all these. Then the offense just kind of stalls.
So this right here is a highlight, or more of a low light example of what happened to the Warriors in Game 1. You can see everyone here who doesn't have the ball and pay attention to what they are doing. Actually, pay more attention to what they're not doing, as they're just kind of standing around. Now here's a couple of clips showing the Warriors defense to start the NBA Finals. It was brutal as the Dubs had literally no defensive rotations nor multiple efforts, and the Celtics could just get paint touches and then catch and shoot the ball freely. However, when I studied Game 2, there were many differences I noticed immediately. Firstly, look, as there are a bunch of defensive rotations. We get a nice shot contest on Marcus Smart, followed by an attack. Even Jordan Poole is trying on this possession, closing the deal out here. Then you have a really nice double team and a shot contest. The ball goes in the hoop, but you can see the level of effort is completely different. Derek White right here is wide open in the corner. In Game 1, this would have been an easy make, but Andrew Wiggins rotates down. Then Draymond Green rotates over with his crazy lanky arms to contest the shot. Now everyone wants to talk about Steph in this game, but who remembers how Draymond Green forced a jump ball 10 seconds into this one? This completely set the tone. Here he is again, getting his hand in the gap, causing a turnover. Then look at this, not biting on a single Jaylen Brown pump fake, moving his feet and forcing an air ball. Whew. Andrew Wiggins threw down this nasty dunk, which takes us to Game freaking 6.
One more.
If you look at the very first play that the Celtics ran, you can see that Marcus Smart already has to direct traffic as Jaylen Brown isn't in the right spot. Pay attention to Al Horford, as it looks like he's going to go left, but he dips right and gets underneath Klay, which gives him a really deep post position, and he gets to the line for 2. The Warriors' first possession only adds more chaos and confusion to the Celtics. As you can see, Andrew Wiggins is just kind of fake screening people and forces a double closeout by Horford and Smart. Then you get both players leaving Wiggins, which makes Al Horford confused on who to take, so he decides to just go to Andrew Wiggins. Marcus Smart is officially in no man's land, which leaves Draymond Green wide open for the easy bucket. The Celtics had a very clear strategy to start this one off, as they tried so hard to post Steph Curry up on multiple occasions, and you can see Marcus Smart just missing the wide open lob there, and then he shoots the contested air ball. As you're going to see in this video, the Warriors' execution was almost perfect defensively. However, they have a bit of a lapse here on once again a post up. Klay overhelped, and then Porter should have rotated, following by Draymond Green, but there is none of that, and Jaylen Brown gets a wide open look at the 3. One of my favorite things to watch is a pre-switch, and you can see Robert Williams does not want to be part of this pick and roll, so he pre-switches with his own player. Marcus Smart goes up to defend Steph Curry, and they almost get the steal, and this is where Steph Curry's magic is so beautiful. Where do you think he should pass this ball? That is a cross-court dot. Right on the money. That forces a closeout, then a blow by followed by a Euro step. That is how you counter good defense by even gooder offense. And check this play out here as Jaylen Brown gets a stagger screen setup, but he actually curls over the first screen, and then Jason Tatum, who set that first screen, Robert Williams comes and sets a screen for him. I love action like this. Jason Tatum is ecstatic to not have Andrew Wiggins on him for once, and he calmly knocks down a shot. The Celtics' decision making is terrible at times, and I want to show you here as they're trying super hard to get Andrew Wiggins in a matchup that isn't on Jason Tatum. So actually Tatum just goes and shoves Steph Curry right into the side and just posts him up to get the switch. Tatum gets the ball back as he should, and this is where you'd expect to go to work, but he just gives the ball right back, and then he takes a step back and does not engage in the play, and then they go one-on-one against Golden State's best defender. This does not make any sense at all. Here's what they should have done instead. Grant Williams should have came all the way up to the top where Tatum is. Tatum should have slid down into the paint. They should have moved the ball over to Grant, and then he could have posted Tatum up. Here's a good look at a 3 by Jordan Poole, but I want to show you why this happened in the first place. Watch Draymond Green at the bottom of your screen as he shoves Tatum in the back and then tips the ball out. That is winning basketball plays at its finest. The Celtics run some really nice split action at the top for Jason Tatum as he gets a really solid screen by Derek White. Now he's gonna have a wide open layup here as the Warriors do not switch it, but they really converge down low with some help defense. Horford makes the right read, and then Derek White decides he doesn't want to hit an open layup. I notice Grant Williams trotting back on defense, and then Pritchard does not call ball to stop Klay Thompson, which puts Al Horford on a bit of an island, and Andrew Wiggins makes the easy reverse layup. Marcus Smart made a ton of errors, and watch him here as he just does not pay attention to Draymond Green behind him boxing out. Draymond makes the pass outside, and Jordan Poole knocks down a wide open three-point shot. We've covered that the Celtics have really struggled to keep their head up when they're dribbling the ball left, so Gary Payton forces Jaylen Brown to go left. Brown doesn't even see the help come and his guy wide open in the corner, and he just dribbles it into traffic and turns the ball over. Golden State does what they do best, and that is get in transition and run off of stops. Steph Curry loved it so much he might have touched that ref in the bum. Jordan Poole looks like a high school player going for the full court steal, and the Celtics push it up and get 2 shots at the free throw line. Then he does the same thing back-to-back plays, and he goes for another full court steal. I would have benched him right at that point. Nice outside-inside Euro step by Tatum though. Boston tried to use their face guarding strategy from the previous game, and this time the Warriors were just so perfectly planned for this. They also put Tatum on Green, which would slow down that pick and roll so Tatum can just swap onto Curry. This is why the Warriors are always moving, as Looney sets another screen for Klay Thompson, and that is beautiful basketball, my friends. Boston runs a staggered screen action again that I had originally showed you. Tatum once again curls underneath. The secondary screen is set for the person to come and cut to the top. The pass is a little bit late, however, the Warriors are super confused by all of the switches, and they both go and double team Tatum at the top, which leaves Robert Williams wide open for the beautiful pass and dunk. It's basically pick your poison with Steph Curry, and you can see that the Celtics are in a soft drop still, so Horford goes down. But because Derek White is in a trail position, Steph Curry's ball fakes are just so lethal because he only needs an inch to get that shot off. Klay and Steph are going to run some screens for each other, and I want you to take a guess on what the Celtics are going to do. You guys are smart, so I'm sure you said switch. Those of you who are my most loyal subscribers, you know that when there is a switch, there is a seal, and I don't think I've ever seen Draymond Green make a nicer pass than this one right here. She knows it, and you know it. That was pretty darn good. The struggles for Boston continue, and check this out. You get an automatic mismatch with Steph Curry on Big Daddy Al Horford, and for some reason Jaylen Brown has the perfect angle to pass it, but he refuses to do that. He gives the ball to Marcus Smart, and he's like, no, Jaylen Brown, you got a way better angle to pass this. Jaylen drives this left with his head down, and check out Daddy's reaction. Brown then goes on to shoot an air ball, but he totally redeems himself. Bonus points if anyone knows what movie that's from. But the comedic part about this is he's totally out of control and jumping off of one leg again, and he's lucky he gets a bailout call going 1-on-2. We get a blitz from the Celtics, and Steph Curry somehow threads the needle through the 2 Celtics defenders, and then you get a 3-on-2, and Wiggins makes the right play to Otto Porter Jr. This looks like a beautiful passing play, which it really is, but something bigger happened, and you're gonna see Marcus Smart watch him take his eye momentarily off of Steph Curry, and Steph is already gone, cutting to the right. The amount of counter moves that the Warriors have for every circumstance is what makes them so special. You can see the Celtics have Jason Tatum guarding Draymond Green, so then they can switch that screen onto Steph Curry. The Warriors are still able to get the switch they wanted as they bring Horford up with Wiggins. Boston's been getting burnt with their bigs on Curry, so Tatum comes up to apply extra pressure. This next part baffles me as Marcus Smart doesn't commit to the first pass. This would trigger a second rotation out to the wing, and then Jaylen Brown would be able to come down and collapse and help on the big. This is the main reason why this YouTube channel needs to get big, so NBA teams could see some of these clips, because this could honestly help a lot of teams. That's a shameless plug to subscribe, and I'm not apologizing for that. But Marcus Smart should be apologizing to his team for this. He is on Draymond Green, and he refuses to even move an inch. He is just watching with his hands on his knees in the biggest game of his life, and check out how Wiggins has the closeout of the year on Jason Tatum. And those are the things that Apple did not mention, but it wouldn't be possible without this guy becoming one of the best defenders ever.